right. All right, we are live, live, live. Again, I'm sorry about that. For some reason my software, the scroll was on it, and I don't, it got scrolled, I guess. Um, got to do one other thing here. I swear. It's like I've got something working against me today. Okay. Ooh, Lord. Get everything else set up and all, and it just wants to go that stupid. Um, okay. I think we got it now. Or I got it now. Let me get that back. Okay. All right. Like I was telling you earlier, I've got the message up there, so I wouldn't have to repeat this every time. That all the times of what I'm saying with the planets or the day or whatever, uh, it's all with Eastern Standard Time. So you'll have to New York time. Um, so you'll have to adjust your times according to um, New York Standard Time. All right. Ooh, got me all messed up. I was all going in one direction, and all of a sudden it went in a different direction. That's the way the things go when they go live. Nothing works perfect. Okay, how many times you check it, double check, look back, whatever. It's a mess. Anyway, I was working the last yesterday, all day yesterday. After I did Scorpio's reading, I was going to do more readings, but then I wanted to get the rest of the calendar for the month uh, um, with the astrology showed up. And I was saying in the last, before I got interrupted there, that uh, I noticed that the full moon on the 13th of this month, that it was at 20 degrees um, and 45 minutes. Next month it's going to be on the 12th, so it's like a 29-day cycle, lunar cycle, where the new moon will then be on the 12th, and it again will be in, well, it'll be in your first house. The new moon will be, but it also will be at 20 degrees 40 minutes instead of back in Scorpio where it was 20 degrees 45 minutes in. Numbers to me are really, really interesting. Um, Not only towards the aspects of, when something's being initiated, it's beginning or ending or whatever it is. Each time a house goes, the degrees goes from 0 to 29. You count 0, 29, that's 30 degrees, right? So there is a beginning and an ending, and every time a planet goes into a sign or a house, it moves into that area with to initiate something here. A planet will say, okay, this house, we're going to start something new here. Um, and there may be, depending on the planet, depending on the aspects, what are you going to do? What do you have to do? What needs to get done? Um, so we're going to go through these things, but I'm going to start off with the astrology on the 14th because I feel, this is what I'm feeling, is that it's sort of a setup to what is coming. Because we had, like I said, we had the new moon on the 15th, I mean on 13th, uh, and in Scorpio, and it was a new beginning towards something here, but I feel that it has a lot to do for each one of us in a different way, of course, but depending on the houses and the signs and all, mostly the houses. Um, but I feel that it's to bring an awareness or attention to something that we really need to focus on. Um, and it's going to be kind of setting things up. So let's go ahead and move over, and I will be talking about not only will I be bringing in the new moons, um, but also for the first quarter moons, the full moon, the last quarter of the moon, uh, those time periods that I feel are kind of really important. The new moon is letting us know that this is a new beginning. We'll be going through uh, something with the spirit within us, and also our emotions that we'll be going through for the next 30 days. Uh, and some of those emotions that we carry from before. And that's why I said I feel like they're, with this time of this new moon in Scorpio toward the next one, these two lunar cycles of now that we're going through and what we're going to go through is to have us to clearly see something that we need to see. And the sun and the moon and the transits and what's happening here is to bring our awareness to something, to the surface, that we need to see something here and we need to take some sort of action. Okay? Now, let's go ahead, and like I said, that message up there, remember, every time I say something about a time, the time deals with Eastern Standard Time, New York time, okay? So let's get rid of that. Here we go. All right. Now we're back. Looking good. Anyway, we've got you in the first house here. Now, we got Mercury and the moon there. And they're both at 6 degrees. And Mercury, as well as the moon, are what they call an out of bound. Anything that's 23 degrees is out of bounds. When it hits that 23-degree mark, it's out of bounds. These two just happen to be right now, and the moon's at minus 24, and Mercury is at minus 23. And Mercury happens to be in a detriment. Now, the detriment is when a sign is opposite its rulership. And so Mercury, being in Sagittarius, is opposite its rulership of its house of Gemini. So it feels weak, negative, and repressed. And then again, I'm looking at the out of bounds of the moon and the of Mercury and the moon being in those negative positions and out of bounds. And when an out of bound planet, they're a positive and a negative. That means when it's positive, it's anytime it's out of bound, it's intense in one direction or the other, in a positive way or a negative way. And with these two being out of bounds in a negative expression, it's leading to an abnormal or unstable behavior, which is outside the acceptance standards of society. And I'm looking at Saturn here. And I'm seeing that Saturn is about rules and regulations and laws and all this stuff that is about restrictions and following the rules of society. Its energy can also indicate a tendency toward mental imbalance, or at the least create a lot of pressure and stress in an individual's life. So I would say with these two, if you are a masculine energy, all right, man, there's a lot of men that may be especially with if for you Sagittarius males, there could be a lot of stress that you're going through right now. And I watched something last night, and I was really, I know you all, most of you probably know of Judge Joe Brown. He was on a podcast I saw yesterday, and he talked about male masculinity and how it has been on the decline. And I agree. This started happening a long time ago. I agree with his term because I'm close to his age. Maybe not that close, but close enough. I think there's like a 20 years difference in our age or somewhere along there. But I remember times that he was talking about and something here about the masculine energy of like it's been deteriorating. Really bad. And I totally agree with everything he said. Men not wanting to get involved in committed relationships. Totally agree with that. I understand it. The dominance of the feminine movement that happened years ago. So it was a lot of the stuff, and you've probably heard it over time again, something about the main card being taken away. I mean, it's crazy, but I agree with it. I totally agree with it. That women, I understand women fighting for the rights. I get that. The right to vote, the right to work outside the home, wanting fair share equality. But somewhere along in there, women, I would say, forgot what, yes, you were fighting for all the things that you are entitled to. But somewhere in there was in that feminist movement to demasculate a man. Like, I don't need you. I don't, you don't have a job, or, you got to have a job to be with me, that sort of thing. So men, I totally agree that through that feminine movement, there are women who gain their power and their control. And through that, some of them intentionally or some of them inadvertently got drug into the thing of demasculating men. They wanted to see the emotional side of men. They wanted to know, well, how do you feel? What's on your mind? Really? I mean, I've got to totally agree that, yeah, it's happened. And so, I mean, I'm all for of an individual having their own power if they're being bullied or if they're being overmasculated. And I see, a lot of stuff that has to do with spiritually women making men feel less and less of a man. So I get it. Don't really blame them for not wanting to commit in relationships, not wanting to get married, not wanting to have children. I mean, I can't argue with it. I really can't. And right now, what I'm seeing here is that men are expected to go to war. They're expected to go to battle. They're expected. Women need to stop trying to castrate men. Really, stop it. You want a hero. You can't you can't have it both ways, ladies. You want a man to lay with, you get pregnant, but yet you don't want him to be a father. Or you want him to support that child, but yet you want to control it. It's gone too far. You can't have a hero and a wimp at the same time. Because it reminds me of a cartoon I saw many, many, many years ago, where the guy was sort of like a Superman thing or whatever, but he lost his hero card. He became sort of this wimp, a wimpy hero. There's nothing more uglier than a wimpy hero. Men used to be driven to go after what they wanted, what they aspired to be. And now so many men, I can understand where they've turned the tables and said, okay, you keep me up. And I would say there have been women who have raised their male children in a way where they've not taught them how to be men. Like, darling, it's okay for you to cry. Oh, darling, you're bullied. Let mama kiss the boo-boos. Blah, 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 blah. No, women, you need to teach your boys how to be men. Stop trying to take away their masculinity. You're doing harm. And I like I said, I listened to that. You should go check it out. It's on um, P was it PBD, I think, or PDB? Yeah, I think that's what it is. And check it out. It's a really, really open, honest communication. A lot of information that Mr. Brown, which I have honored, I have admired him for many, many years as a judge, and how he stands up. He doesn't. The one thing I liked about this man was he has never went one way or the other. He sees it like it is. He doesn't. He puts the blame where it should be, and if it's on both parties, then it's on both parties. So it's like I said, it's a very good interview. Um, and I really enjoyed it. I agree with him wholeheartedly. Um, and there was, like I said, a lot of truth telling there with the evidence to back it up. So, with that being said, sorry I went on that little thing, but what I'm looking at right now, like I said, I brought in on the 14th here and started this out on the 14th simply because I'm seeing where there is these out of bounds with Pluto as well. It's at a negative, and it's squaring the nodes again, as you can see right here, where it is squaring the nodes. Oops, clear that off. Right here at 28 degrees. That is an end of a cycle coming. 28 is known as a cycle that is coming to a closure. It is also a number that's referred to women. And something here in your second house, which has to do with control or your past actions. Now, I went with the true nodes now. I was going with the mean nodes, but I've switched them over to the true nodes where they show the retrogrades as well. And the nodes are retrograde right now. And they're at 24 degrees. So there's something of the morality of women and their past previous actions that's going to be somewhat, could possibly be harmful in the romantic relationships, love affairs. Demasculating men. Also with children. If you have children here, whatever this is, that past actions that were done, in love. I've got this feeling that it's a lot. There is a lot of spiritual stuff going on right now. Spiritual attacks of women and men. The roles have reversed, and that's why I said I found that it was just real interesting that at this present time, that podcast with Joe Brown, which is Patrick David Bet something is his name. I can't remember, but it's really interesting that this is coming out in what I'm seeing with the astrology. We have Venus in your 11th house. Venus is ruling Libra. This is something where the 11th house does with like-minded people in similar interests to achieve the ideals and hopes. Joint activities, group expressions, social life, friends. Be cautious, I would want to say right now, if you think, who is really your friend? It was very interesting when I did my own personal little reading for the day that I saw something here for myself as of a big transformation happening in my own life. And I know I have taken back control over my life, where I know for a long time I let others kind of dictate my direction, where I was going, what I was planning, my dreams, my goals, my aspirations, all of it I had put back on the back burner for years because family, love interest, I put it all behind and wanted them to see them succeed. I always felt like my time would come later. Well, now we're here at later. And it's a thing of taking back the control of something here as well. And I feel like with you guys, you need to look back at something here in relationship to control. If you are a masculine Sagittarius man, look within yourself, because I feel like you are going through something here that you need to take back your power. And I'm not saying this in an ugly way, that you have to be ugly, but I'm saying standing up for something that you believe in. Um, as a man, there's nothing more attractive to me than a man being a man, but not an idiot, not a little boy, not a crier, not a whiner. That's not very appealing to me at all. And I don't think it's really appealing to a lot of people. I think men should say, this is what I expect, this is what I want. Give them back their hero card. And I feel like you're going through something here where you've surrendered so long the power to maybe your friends or groups you were in, and it's time for you to kind of, I know you're a sign that's mutable. You adapt to things. But should you give away your aspirations, your goals, your dreams, should you make all those sacrifices in some way here, of your plans, goals, where you were so dedicated, spiritually dedicated to something here, whether, like I said before, a project or a goal or something here, your belief that was sacred to you. What did you surrender here? What did you let go of? And again, this was in a sextile. Pluto was in a sextile to Mercury over here. That chain has broke. What the influence was from the outside that was really pushing something here has kind of broken away to say, okay, you need to look at the past, your groups, your friends, like-minded people, also to the future of love affairs. You need to take back control. You don't need to let your friends or your social groups or whatever else oversee or over control your personal romantic interest in the future. You're going to have to make some decisions here, especially with the North Node in a quincunx with the Sun and Mars. There's adjustments with these energies, because right here there is a strong focus. Now, I gotta let y'all know, when I look at these, I don't think of men and women unless there's something there that's really pushing me that way. I don't look at tarot with the mindset of only women or only men. I look at the energy itself. And what I'm seeing here is the focus to take action towards something here, because whatever it is not copacetic going on for your future. It is not what the universe wants you to continue in the future doing, is creating karma, or that you need to focus on what actions you need to take. Because whatever it is with healing, right now there's no, I'm sure if I put some other bunch of planets in there and asteroids and whatever else, there would be some connection, but there is something here about healing, going through your own healing process. We know that Venus went through her retrograde. There was that energy of going behind the sun. So it went down into the depths and came back out as the morning star, and it's ascending up again, where it will become the night star. It's a cycle that Venus does as she catches up with the sun. And she hits those 5 points of the Star of David. So anyway, there is something here in your 4th house that is also not meeting up, or the energies do not these energies are not, what you've been doing in the past is not going to work in the future in your home life. Neptune has a tendency of showing the illusions of what we believe something to be. And now, with what the past, those illusions you may have carried in with, or that you spiritually believed with people that you were kindred spirits with them, I don't think so anymore. Check your friends. Check them close. Because I feel like you've got some enemies here. You need to look at them. And you need to focus. What's been going on in the past? Do I want to keep on this path for the future? Because it hasn't been working for me in the past. And you're going to have the courage to make some decisions here. And take control back in your life. And I've also spoken about this quincunx as well with Vista and Mercury here. Like I said, Pluto is out of bounds, Mercury's out of bounds and detriment, and the moon is out of bounds. All these are negative energies. And like I said, when planets are out of bounds, they can be negative or positive, and right now I'm seeing negatively expressed, leading to those abnormal, unstable behaviors outside of the acceptance of standards of society, and I'm seeing it a lot going on. And I feel like there's a lot of people that's going toward this tendency of mental imbalance. They're believing something here that is an illusion. Or at the very least, create a lot of pressure and stress in an individual's life. And this is, I just heard on the news yesterday about 10 people, 10 students who attacked one person, and that person died. What is this world coming to? Parents, where are you? These are high school or young adults. Do you know, parents, you got to know who your kids are around. You can't just let them run wild. And or go wherever they want to go. That mentality, we've gone to the point of where children were latchkey children, where mothers had to work, single mothers, or both had to work, but most of them were single. And kids came home, unlocked the door. They had a key to the house. They went in. Maybe there was rules or regulations they had to do, things that had to be done. But now we've gone from a latchkey to where I raised myself and I know this and I know that, and they're just taking over. And parents need to know, who are your children hanging out with, what their beliefs are, what are they listening to. I mean, parents have got to be parents again. Children need boundaries. And you need to know when they step outside of that boundary and who's coming into that boundary. Because right now, we've got 8, and they're looking for the 2 others. There's going to be 10 kids who now have committed murder. And you're going to see these parents, 20 of them, or 8 of them, that's going to be sitting in a courtroom listening to things. And I cannot believe that they would sit in a courtroom and say, well, I didn't know my kid was doing that. Then where in the hell were you at? When did parents stop and realize, or they stopped paying attention to what's going on? It's a sad day. It really is. So that was on the 14th. Sorry I got off track there, but I feel like it had to be said. I really do. We're going to go into the 15th now. This has a lot to do with Mercury. And what's interesting about today is there are 2 yods going on here. And it deals with Venus. And now yods are known as the finger of God. Like I said, I'm telling you, there's something very spiritual going on in our country right now, or in this world right now. I'm not going to say in the country. I'm saying all around the world. We have the quincunxes. First of all, let me say that this yod, this first one, is based at 7:48 this morning, my time, Eastern Standard Time, like I said. Jupiter is the apex here, and it's retrograde, meaning these energies, Venus in a sextile to Mercury, both of them being at 7 degrees and 52 minutes in, there's something spiritual going on here. And the moon now it was what, 24? Now it's at 27, really out of bounds. This energy with this moon, emotional energy, is going to intensify. So I feel like there's something with influence here with Venus influencing, or Mercury trying to communicate with Venus. And so this energy is going to be there until 12:15. So something's going to be going on here where Mercury's trying to communicate with Venus. Try to help. We also have where the quincunx is Mercury over to Jupiter. We have Venus quincunx over to Jupiter. So Mercury's talking to Venus, or trying to communicate, or there's an expression of something what's being shown, all right, towards your 6th house. Your 1st, 6th, and 11th house this is involving. So we're looking at the self. We're looking at something with work or your health, your improvement. Because remember, Jupiter is expansion. But right now it's retrograde. So you're looking at relationships that are possibly, is there any growth here? Do I spiritually feel the same thing? Am I connecting on a spiritual level in my life with improvements? Because these energies, Mercury's trying to help Venus, but these energies are not, it's not working out. I don't think you're on the same mindset, or you're around people. You need to get around people that are more spiritually connected, because you are a sign that is about philosophy. You are a sign that is about faith and destiny. And yods are that of faith and destiny, to do something here. And I'm feeling like you need to connect more on a spiritual level instead of sort of a just going along with the program. Look around you and see, because there's, like I said, I feel like there's a lot of depression here, a lot of pressure by peer groups. Oh God, did it again, didn't I? Oh lordy, lordy, lordy! I hit something. There we go. All right. There's something here with the peer groups, and there's pressure from them, maybe from friends. And I think you really, really need to look at these people that you're associating with or communicating with or being involved with that are enticing you, that's not going to bring growth for you. And right now, in your 12th house, 12th house is all about karma. And it's a result of past acts, maybe the influence of others. And here, you really need to focus on who is your enemy that you don't know, because there is that opposition to Uranus, which is something unexpected happening. Who is it that really supports you, or who is jealous of you? It's only going to improve. A better improvement for you. Now, also, later on this evening, like I said, we got another yod here. Let me go to that. We can see that here, Mercury becomes the apex of Jupiter sextiling with Vesta. So there's something here about, look at your aspirations, look at what you're devoting yourself to, that is staggering your growth. What is your plans? What is your goals? What are your aspirations? for you. I don't think you've been doing a lot of that. I feel like Sagittarius has just been docile in some way, that you've just been going along with your peers or your social groups or whatever, not realizing the path they were leading you down on. And it's time to now really look at people for who they truly are. And you've got to make a decision here. Are you going to still continue to go down that path? Or are you going to go in a direction that is growth? What have you done in the past here? Have you just been adapting just to survive? That's not a way to survive. I'm going to tell you that right now. Definitely not. It's not a way to live a life by going along with what everybody else does. Now, it's starting at 10:52, which it's already in that time zone now, up to starting this morning. We've got the moon in your house again, Sagittarius, and it's in that quincunx with Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Like I said, remember I was saying something about that? From 10 o'clock or 10:52 this morning, my time, Standard Time, Eastern Standard Time, up till 5 o'clock or almost 6 o'clock in the evening, you're going to go through these feelings while the moon is in Sagittarius. And you're going to be at this, sudden changes are going to take place where you are going to start looking at what is best for your future, what feels comfortable to you. Does being around these people feel comfort? And you also, with this motion and the moon, by 6 o'clock this evening, you're going to be in this square here with Neptune. Exact degrees. Do I believe what they believe? Because this is your home, your family, and there's a square here. Remember, fire and water, that can be a volatile energy here. And this yod is going to go on all day long. And I mean all day long. And you're going to go through these feelings that by this evening at 10:30, like I said, this yod's going to be here all day long. And it is the divine saying you've got a purpose here to look at something and come aware to something of what's going on. Why are you feeling depressed? Why are you feeling pressure or stressed out over something? What is going on here? And this sudden radical change is taking place. And the universe is saying, look, you've come in this world to make improvements in your life, to grow, to expand as an individual, not to follow a group of people to make them satisfied. That's not your purpose on this earth here. And you're going to realize that today. You're going to look at these people and say, look at all this quincunx that's sitting there. Those are those little brown dotted lines. That's energies that aren't mixing. These people maybe don't meet in with my goals. Maybe they don't aspire to be something here. That, these protests that are going on. I'm just wondering how many people are going to go there or join in with this just so they can be socially accepted by people that they don't even share the same beliefs with. They're just doing it to be accepted. Everybody feels like today they have to be a part of a group. They have to be a part of a crowd. They have to adapt and all this. No. Take your power back and change your life. You were not born as a dog to run with a pack. Your purpose in life is for your own personal identity and growth. To achieve your own aspirations, your own goals. And to spiritually connect with the divine to help you, not harm you. And some of you, there's the old meaning of an occult, because Scorpio has an occult condemnation that takes you down into a dark place. Get out of there. It's almost like these protesters that are all out these groups. It's like it doesn't have a God. It doesn't. It's like I agree with Joe Brown. It is like in a religion, but it doesn't have a deity. Is everybody joining in to be socially acceptable? Where do people lose their identity? And it's time for you to connect and to you and to spirit, not to people in social groups, peer groups. And once you take back control of your life and look at what you aspire to be and what you want to plan for your life, don't follow what other people do. Parents should not say, well, I want my son to be a doctor. I want my daughter to be a nurse. I want my daughter to be a doctor. I want to be a politician. Parents, quit. Talk to your children and find out what they're interested in. And help them focus toward that aspiration of what they want to be. Now, granted, children during certain ages, they will change their mind. This is a conversation you have to have with a young adult, not a 5-year-old. Because by the time they get to 7, by the time they get to 14, it's going to change. They don't know what they want to be. They just let them be kids. After the age of 14 is when you need to have that conversation with them and say, what is it you plan for your future? What is it you want to be? Have you decided yet? What piques your interest? Help your children get there, and you will not see kids walking around trying to be socially acceptable in the garbage. Feed the spirit, as Christ told us. And that makes it forever. A person will never be hungry. Teach a man how to fish and he'll never starve. Teach a spirit about the word and it'll never be empty. It'll always be overfilling. Gotta look at ourselves as parents. And sometimes we have to apologize. Nothing wrong with a parent apologizing. You're not perfect. Now, tomorrow on the 16th, the moon is going to enter into Capricorn, which is where it's still at 28 degrees, meaning it's out of bound, it's negative. And it has Pluto there. So this moon is going to go through where it will, while in Capricorn, it will look in opposition here to Cancer. What is it you aspire to be? What are your plans? What are your goals? What are you going to devote yourself to in a spiritual way that you want to achieve? It's time to reassess those values. Also, it will trine with Jupiter here in retrograde. We're looking at, not only that, we're looking at a T-square here, which is the moon to Vesta, and we're looking at Venus over here. The moon is feeding out these emotions to Vista over here. I mean to Venus. And the moon is in opposition to maybe what your friends want or society wants out of you. In order to grow, you need to devote yourself to what you want to accomplish here. Look at what your past acts have been of what you've been trying to accomplish. And this is the time while the nodes are retrograde that are connected to the moon for you to reassess, reevaluate emotionally what it is you want to achieve, and spiritually. And again, we have the Yod here with Mercury. There's some sort of thinking about what you need. You need some spirituality here is what you need in your life. And I don't mean a negative entity. I mean a true turning thy life around and listening to the truth, the word. I did it 3 years ago. I did it. I thought I could do everything myself. I didn't need nobody. I could do it all on my own. About brought me down to a nervous breakdown. And it wasn't until I was at the wall and standing there looking and said, I can't do this alone, that I fell to my knees, cried my eyes out, and said, Lord, I surrender. I put it all in your hands, and what will be that you have destined for me, I accept. Whatever goes, goes. But I can't carry this anymore. And I cried my eyes out, and I cried, and I started listening. And I started to having conversations with Christ. Some of you can say it's prayer. Me, I just have conversations. And I don't expect anything, but there will be times that I will ask a question and I have to wait and to receive the answer. And that's okay. I got time. Time as the good Lord lets me. But this is exactly about you fulfilling your purpose in this life, not other people's, yours. Not in destroying something here in this square today that you're going to be having here with what do you need? What is not there fulfilling you? Because we're looking at the moon here, and that is your emotions. Are you dealing with people that are here, there, whatever? You need something that's fueling a fire in you. And I don't mean the wrong kind. That will support you and inspire you to go after what it is you truly desire. And then we have the moon still in Capricorn, where it will be square with Venus in Libra. Still, we've got the square, and still we got the yod. There is a purpose here you are to fulfill. And it's something of what you're thinking and changing your thoughts. You're being tested right now. What we will be with also with Venus in Libra, we got, like I said, we went over the quincunx here, the yod. There is something that's influencing here. But remember, air and earth don't mix. But earth and water mix. But there's something here that needs to be inspiring. You got a friend out there that says, hey, what do you need? What is it you need? What are you going through? Let's talk about it. What are you trying to do here and accomplish here that can bring improvements in your life? Let's make that radical sudden change here. And look at what's focused here. There's that energy where there may be an opposition to something here, but look, it can be very good. Focus on the sudden radical change you could make in your life and how you can overcome whatever is emotionally pulling you down, repressing you, holding you back. It's up to you. Also, we have later on this evening at about 11:30, something's going to click with you. We still got the T-square going on there, and we still got the yod going on. So this is going to hang with you all day long. This sun is saying, hey, you're focused on some kind of radical change here. Something that's got you down, 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 deep within you, spiritually repressed, emotionally not in a stable place. And you've got to get out of that. You can't just go along with everything everybody else. What is it you believe? What is it that you aspire for. Again, I will say it again. Because on the 17th, Mars in Scorpio is going to be trying Pluto here. Not Pluto, Neptune. I don't know why I have trouble with those two. Because they both got their little arms up in the air. One's got a head and one don't have a head. It's just a neck. Oh, Lordy. Those two always get me. Every time. Like somebody just running around without a little head on their head, shoulder. Just a neck, little stub sticking up there. With Neptune. We also, on this day, on the 17th, we got the yoke going on still. With you thinking over here about your 11th house. What is the inspiration here? You are there's something here emotionally you're being inspired to do. My mother always said, you can count your friends on one hand, your real true friends on one hand, and still have fingers left over. So there's something here where you're trying to communicate with someone over here about your emotions and about this growth, expansion. You need to get with the right people. And look at Venus. She's in a square to Vesta. Square to the moon. The moon's squaring there. Then it's squaring over to Vesta. The moon also is something about healing. Take control back. Who are you communicating with? Some of y'all, I think, are communicating with an evil spirit. And when you get down into this part of depression, you need to go seek help. Really. If you don't know how to get there, you need that professional help to help you get there. Also, we'll have the sun today. Let's look about the sun. The sun in Scorpio trying Neptune as well. We know Mars is doing it. But about 6 hours later, the sun then is going to be aspecting Neptune. Something of initiation, an action that needs to be, that maybe can comfort you. Because trions are what makes us feel comfortable. Finding a way to creatively express ourselves that can bring that ease and comfort. It's about vision, insight, intuition. And that's what Pisces is well. It's about your intuition. Remember, what rules Pisces, good Lord, is the moon. And this energy is intensifying. You want success here. You want to make a radical change. I mean, when you make such a radical change that it surprises everybody else, they can't even understand it. They don't. They're like, "Wow, where'd all this come from?" I mean, it's you focusing on something in your life and not them. And they can be a little bit jealous. We also have the sun by later on this evening, by almost 11 o'clock. The sun is going to be trying the moon in Capricorn. So it's aiding it. Whatever something during the day has happened here, now with this energy where Mars had that trying to, or still has it, trying to Neptune, and then the sun had the trine with Neptune, something here got illuminated during the day. And you've been focused on it all day and feeling it. Now, by the end of the day here, there is some sort of assistance that you're going to feel. This sextile. Sextiles sort of bring in an opportunity for productivity and success. It's like changing your mental attitude is being activated. Instead of going through the conflicts of what's going through in your head, where there's depression, where there's repression, where there's mental imbalance, it's time for you can heal yourself. But you have to block out that outside interference that is not helping you. You have to activate that mental attitude for it to work. I can heal myself. I know what I'm feeling inside. I know what I need. So I need to radically change myself and the way I think and not allow anyone to put me in this repressive state. Because you're going to be going with the moon here. Now remember, the day starts out on the 17th with this Mars and the sun trying over to Neptune. And now the moon, during that day, is coming closer and closer to Pluto. And you've got to get a control here on what you feel about the past, your own past actions. Take responsibility for what you have done and activate that mental attitude that I don't want to be in that place anymore. I don't want to be stuck in this place of repressive energy. I'm not going to think like everybody else. I'm going to think like I want to, what I think. I want to learn for myself. Because now that moon, like I said, is in conjunction with Pluto. You're going to make some radical change here that makes you feel comfortable. That nurtures, you can nurture yourself. You can come out of this. But you got to put that mind to work. And also during the day, that first one's going to be, it's going to be when it was at 20 degrees and 28 degrees. That was around almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, with this time being in the night, this is when you need to sort of make this transition of like, I'm not going to act that way anymore. I'm not going to go along with this anymore. I have a mind of my own, and I'm not going to let people speak for me, talk for me, tell me how I feel, because I want my future and I am inspired to have a healthy future, not a repressed one. So this is around 9 o'clock in the evening. Then this moon is going to sextile with Neptune, while at the same time squaring the nodes, that taking responsibility, things you've done in the past. Not going to do that no more, because I want a more healthier future. I want to be creative in my own right, not what everybody else wants me to do. I can inspire myself. I can heal myself by just changing the way I think. Thinking more positive, thinking more healthy. Expressing more love, because that's your 5th house. Through love, there's healing. There is still some quincunxes here, but it's that really, don't let anybody tell you you can't accomplish something or you can't achieve something. Me being 4'9", I've had a lot of people tell me, well, you can't do that, you can't do this, or I'm a female, don't tell me I can't do something. Because the more you try to tell this old gal she can't do it, it's been my way all my life. I was never a follower, I was a loner. I had to sort things out for myself. I had to figure things out for myself. I knew what my parents laid down a rules and regulations in their home, and I followed it. It's their home. It's not my home. Things I had to do. Conduct. I had to act in a way that my parents taught me that a young woman should act as. I remember when I was learning to put makeup on, my mother said less was always best. Don't conceal the beauty, enhance it. So less was best. And she was right. So you are focused now towards the future that you know now you need to change something. On the 18th, got a lot. The sun's going to start the morning, and this would be after midnight. So in this, with the East Coast here, my time, it would be past midnight. Where there's that conjunction with Mars in Scorpio, with these two energies combined together. And there could be dreams, there could be visions here. Again, the energies kind of really still the same. The rest of the day is going to be focused with what you feel. All right? The moon at this point is going to come in conjunction at 28 degrees, 14 minutes in. So there is salvation here, of a cycle that's coming to an end with the aid of Neptune, of what you believe in your family and your home, what you're focused at, where your actions you want to go, what direction you want to go, your drive that you want to accomplish here. Because I still see that there is a potential for growth. You just got to activate that mind and heal those thoughts. Then the moon is going to ingress into Aquarius, where it'll be at 0. So there will be this intense now with that combined energy of Pluto, that we're looking at air And now that intensity, emotional intensity that is being inflamed about the future, that healing. You're going to be so focused on creating something of a new beginning, a new future. And what you definitely need here is that healing. You taking the bull by the reins or taking the flame. You taking the torch and running with it by yourself, going in your direction if you have to. And then while it's there, it will then square up to Jupiter retrograde. There'll be some challenges here because there's going to be that all of a sudden, I want to improve myself, and you may have people who don't kind of go along with that because all of a sudden you have a vision for your life that is different from theirs. Now, the 19th is going to be all emotional as well because with the moon here in Aquarius, it's going to come into a trine with Venus in Libra. You want that balance. 12 degrees, 12 degrees, 9, 9. And also with now the moon squaring, or the moon's going to square during the day, later in the day, it's going to come into that square with Uranus. How do I make this radical change? Well, it goes back to the same thing. You've got to activate your mind. You got to look for the success. You got to look toward what is a real healthy future. I think you're going to spend this last half of the month really thinking about your future and how you feel with this moon now is going into trine with Mercury, and thinking more in a positive way, or sorting out, and we got a trapezoid here too. Now, trapezoid is sort of this, all this energy combined together, starts out with the moon here in a sextile over to Chiron. How do I heal myself, you may ask? Well, change the way you think. That's number one. The mind is like the computer. It holds all that information. It seeks information. It wants information. We got to educate ourselves. Find those that help us to achieve that there in that thinking, of more positive thinking. And we have the moon with this sextile with Mercury as well. There is a better way to think, a better way to feel, a more positive way. And we have Mercury then thus sextile. It's almost like a basket. But there's this crisscross over of taking the action, because fire is that action of being more healthy. Seeking out the knowledge you need. What is it you need to make you feel better? Go find out. Write down what everything that you think is negative, that has you felt like has been repressing you. The only thing that's repressing your mind is you, because you're allowing something to make you feel that way outside of you. And this is going to be where you're going to really work on this and say, what is it I need? Well, I know I need to heal. I know I need to think more positive about my future and not let people tell me, oh, everything is terrible. The world is going to end tomorrow. Oh, it's all going to be over and done with. No. You don't know when it's going to end. I don't know when it's going to end. All I know is I want a more healthier future. I want to get in a better place in life. And this should be everybody be going for that. Now, on the 20th is going to be kind of a lot of action going on here. Starts out with the moon about 1 o'clock in the morning. You could have some kind of dream here about your future. Don't let yourself feel like you're limited here to doing something. And don't let anyone else say, well, you can't do that. You can't accomplish that. Why? They don't know what you can do. You're still reassessing something here. Now we have, with this moon still here in Aquarius, where it's squaring Mars and the sun, definitely being squared as well here, early in the morning. Because let me tell you something, when you start fighting a spiritual, uh, a, a spiritual entity that is causing you to go into something here, it's going to even try harder to keep you from going to a better way of life. It will bring people into your life to confuse you, to try and still influence you stronger and stronger until you say, get away from me. I'm going my way. Now, remember the full moon is where the new moon is where we're going to have this new beginning. At 5 in the morning when you get up, okay, this moon is going to be at that 27 degrees and is conjunct with Saturn. All right? This first quarter of the moon is where you're going to set your intentions. This is the day that you set your intentions, on the 20th. That morning. If you had a dream the night before, I would suggest journaling all your dreams. Looking for answers that are coming to you or messages that are coming to you in your dreams, writing them down. So they always stay fresh. So when something happens, you can go back to that dream and it'll tell you the meaning. It will make it more clear if you don't understand it. And this is where you, at the point now, right on the 20th, at 5:51 in the morning, you're going to wake up to this thing that you need to set your intentions. Because the moon now is going to be really, really connected with Saturn. It ingresses into Pisces. And you begin this new beginning in your home, in your family, in your belief system, and you set this new intention. Now, it may be difficult to begin with, And some people may be opposed to what you're trying to do here, but you've got to stand up and resist. You got to do what makes you feel comfortable with you. And you got to keep that fresh mental attitude that you can accomplish something here. Dedicate yourself to your aspirations and your goals and your plans. And while this moon moves in to Pisces, why it's still square with this, like, how am I going to do this? Don't worry about it. Don't stress over it. Just work on your healing, your positive attitude, your positive thoughts. What is the best way that now you can achieve these plans and these goals? What do you need to do to begin? Because remember, you started this new planting the seed, planting the intention. The sun, again, as the moon breaks away, it still has that conjoined energy that whatever this is, karma, you're not going to create the same karma again. I'm going to control. And I'm going to make good karma, not bad karma. And see, now there's the connection with here. You set these intentions that I'm not going to be like everybody else in society. I'm going to believe what I want to believe. I'm going to research and know what I want to do. I'm going to be devoted to my plans, my goals, of what I want to accomplish, what I want to achieve for self-improvement, for a more healthier me, a more healthier work environment. I'm going to make these radical changes because now there is that sextile over to this energy that says, hey, Sag, way to go. Way to go. And again, like I said, not only is the sun feeding that energy or that sextile over to Pluto in Capricorn, it says, hey, take control. Go after what you aspire to grow, to be, or whatever your plans is. Just remember, don't fall back into that trap from the past. That was the past. This is the future. You're devoting and dedicating yourself right at this point that you are going to go after what works for you. Your self-improvement, your growth. Not what everybody else wants you to do. What you need. And if you don't have people that's not listening to you, say bye. Don't let yourself be swayed by others. On the 21st, in the morning, on the East Coast here, 10:30 in the morning, the moon in Pisces is in this quincunx with Venus. Venus is still trying to, there's something here with friends or other people, because maybe with your past actions, they're not, water and air doesn't really mix either. Don't let somebody here influence what you feel from the past. Don't. You got to let that go. If it's not bringing a support to you or an encouragement to you, then you need to just say, well, I got to make a decision here. I got to have the courage to really make this decision. Of what I need in my life. Believe you me, I've even walked away from churches because I didn't like what I saw. We also have still with the moon now in Pisces. It's square in Mercury. There could be a challenge here of how you're trying to achieve some success. Remember, you're just starting out here, but you're going to check. What you want to do is you want to have this victory. You want to be successful. And we're going to so have Mars feeding into Neptune here as this moon conjoins with Neptune. And the Mars still there with the sun, focusing on it. Because there's going to be a new beginning, because this is going to come into your house on the 22nd. It's going to be Sagittarius season. And you're going to really be focused on yourself now. And this will be very good. We see now that the sun has entered here, and there's already been the conjunction with Neptune and the moon, that now that there's this comfort of you taking some kind of action. Because remember, Pluto's at 28 degrees and Mars is at 28 degrees. So something here is encouraging you to take back that control. And like I said, being responsible for your past actions, but wanting to improve something better. So now the sun is here in your house, and there's a new beginning for you. We haven't even got to the full moon yet. The moon during this time, why it's in Pisces, it's going to go into a sextile with Pluto, which it is, why it's conjunct with Neptune. And there's this trine to Mars in Scorpio. These energies are conjunct. So this is really making you feel you want to take the action that makes you feel good. You want to end something here of a cycle you've been going through. You may be feeling better, especially if you've been putting the work in. And letting others know what you need. Then the moon is going to go into Aries. We're still having that connection to Neptune. Excuse me. Where you are going to want to continue this belief you have that makes you feel better. And you're going to have the courage to make the decision that I'm going to take the responsibility for my own actions in the past of what I've done and be more responsible for me and taking back the control. Pluto's here helping you. It's giving you that energy to start something all new. And with the sun also trying, now that it's in your house, you should be feeling better when you're putting this work in and you're figuring things out. You're sorting things out. You're looking for your own freedom. Then on the 23rd, you're going to, the sun's going to be squaring Saturn here. Because both of these are like a new beginning. You're focused on the new beginning. This is the new season. Weather's changing. Your mind is getting more freer for your thinking. There's a new beginning here where you take the reins. You set the rules for yourself. The moon being there in Aries, when it comes into conjunction with Chiron of healing, in opposition to Venus, I still think there's something over there that I feel like keeps wanting you to do something here. It's like other people. I mean, this, like I said, when we get into a better frame of mind and we take back control of our lives, and it's like that saying, I know because I was there. 3 years ago, I was there. And I know how. What that I felt spiritually attacked, and I kept saying every day when I felt that, not today, devil, not today. Sometimes you got to face that demon and say, not today. And you got to keep that positive thinking. I'm a free, independent person. I can heal myself. Even though I'm being challenged a little bit here right now. But it's how you handle this challenge. Not by your old past actions that created karma for you, but by the new you. Because now you've got awareness. And how you handle these challenges on this day is going to let you see what you're like on the inside. So you can look deep within yourself and say, maybe I still have room for improvement. Maybe I have still some things I need to work on in healing. Because we still, on the 24th, we still have Mercury at 20 degrees and it's squaring Uranus. You've got to make some kind of decision here. Because now the moon is conjuncting with the North Node. And it feels like to me, and we've got the T-square with the North Node and Pluto and the moon. These two joining this energy about something with the past. You want a better past. You're inspired here to do something. It's like you're being challenged. Don't let yourself get caught up in going back into the past, of doing things the old way. Mars then will enter into, on the 24th, will enter into Sagittarius. So these are coming together. Mars and the Sun's kind of hanging out pretty close together for right now. The moon's still over there connected with the North Node. Venus is kind of like, I still feel like you've got something external of you influencing you. That there's someone that's really trying to force something here. And you've got to stand your ground. It's like you were don't, maybe what I'm seeing here is that thing of people saying, well, you used to do this, you used to do that, blah, 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 blah. And they want to drag you back into that old way. And this is the ones that when they do that, you need to separate yourself from them. I've been there myself. You know what? People can't change. I mean, yes, they can. Very much so. You're like, well, that's the old me. I'm not like that anymore. I'm sorry. Because we still have this moon in this square going on here. And I really feel there's some type of really radical decision that you're going to have the courage to take up and say, and tell them, no, I'm not like that. I've changed. I want something better. You can't control me anymore. There's somebody you're going to have to stand up to and say, I don't follow the same beliefs you do. Now leave me be. It's okay. At least you're being honest. Later on in the same day, the moon will now enter Taurus, and it's still conjunct thinking about the future. It's still connected to healing and changing the future. It's more intense now. Because remember, as this goes into Gemini, where it becomes the full moon, that energy is going to be intensified. And you've got time to reassess what your goals and aspirations are. Because Vista here is going to be retrograde, and it's going to be coming back into Gemini, where you can really think and manifest what it is you really want. And you can really focus on what your goals and your plans are and what's inspiring you. But make sure it's a positive energy, because I feel like whatever this is in the friends groups here, you've got to break free from. And there may be people who will eventually follow you in your direction. They see everything working good for you. Then guess what? They may be asking you, how did you do that? How did you accomplish that? And we still have, on this day, that T-square. Because now there is a new thing here you're doing that's connecting with improvement and growth. And reassessing from where you were to where you want to go. How you want to expand. And the moon also in a quintiles with Mars, or a quincunx with Mars, now in Saturn. Both of these are at 0, so it's new starts. New start for you to take some action, to start working out those plans that you have for the future, your growth, your potential, whatever you want to go toward. Remember when I said over here, when the moon was here, you were setting your intentions? Now you can start working towards something here. And you got to have the courage to make that decision on whatever which way you're going to go here. And the moon is going to be sextiling with Vista. And with Saturn. Because it's at 0. See, it's like a reset here. Mars has moved into your first house. Saturn is here in your 4th house. And now with your 6th house. Working on the improvements. Improvements in your home, your life, your beliefs, your philosophies. I mean, there's going to be challenges for you out there. Definitely. There's going to be those who are going to challenge you. Look at, when you take on a challenge or something that's blocking your growth or your expansion or interfering in whatever you want to achieve here or aspire to, or a plan or a goal you have, and you really want to dedicate this to what you want to dedicate to, whether it be, a person, a cause, a project, or even a belief that is sacred to you. Stand up for it. There are going to be people who's going to challenge you, but know that you have done the work. You have went and checked things out. You went and learned things. You're planning now, so don't let anything get in your way here. Now the sun has really moved to 2 degrees in, and it's aligning with you. And there's this quincunx that really, with focus, your focus on yourself, of your growth, your expansion, you're revising something here. We had the yod. You're sitting here talking to someone or communicating or thinking about your freedom, breaking free of something here, not going along with something, not just being a puppet or a toy to someone else and just, following behind them. You're breaking free of something here. Maybe even a whole new outlook at relationships and love and these sort of things. And what is the apex now is not Jupiter this time, but it's Uranus. This radical change that you're making. And look at the elements here. We're talking about fire, air. Something here is fueling something here. And it's going toward improvement. I don't know what this is, but I know it's breaking free of something here. Now we have where on the 25th, it's going to be kind of an easy day. The sun's, the moon is going to be in that conjunction with Jupiter. And we have this yod over here that's very strong. And you are really focused on something here, reassessing. These are retrograde. And when they're retrograde, embrace the retrogrades. Embrace them to really look at something that now you can see possibly what you want to accomplish moving forward. And I think you're going to do this for about 2 cycles here. Because when that moon comes back around here, it's going to be basically at the same degree as it was here. And this is where you may begin to start taking that action. You've been thinking about it all this time. You've been planning something. You've been working on something. You've been processing things. Changing the way you think. Taking back control of your thoughts and what you want to achieve here. Again, that Venus, and now it's, like I said, the conjunction, that something here that you felt that you wanted to overcome some sort of challenge here, that you wanted to break out of, that you feel like there's no growth around. There's whatever it is you're doing, it's feeling like whatever this is, there's no growth here. I need to, I need to break free of something here. Now, on the 26th is going to be a long day. There's going to be a lot with this moon in conjunction with Venus. There's going to be a lot with this moon in conjunction with Uranus, because that's where it's coming to now. It's conjoining with it. And remember, this moon is during this time of void of course as well. So whatever's over here can interfere with what you're trying to do for yourself, the radical change you're making for yourself. You may have friends trying to sway you in a different way. Well, y'all go do what you want to do. I've got other things going on here. You know, usually when we try to pull away from something, that's when something pulls us back even harder, and we have to resist to it. We got the moon also sextiling with Neptune here. That's kind of inspiring you. You know, something in your home and in your family here. Because this is all connected together, helping you to stay focused. And we also still have with Venus here in this quincunx to over here to what you're doing. And, you know, this kind of reminds me of where friends or groups or something here is how do I want to put that? You're seeing something over here a lot more clearly. And there could be something with, like I said, they're really trying to maybe pull you back in. And the moon later in the day is going to be in this trine to Pluto. And Pluto here is like really trying to help you, not letting anything get in your way. Because we have a T square here on this day with this energy, with the moon over here to Mars and the sun. And we have the moon here where you're trying to initiate something here, limiting maybe somebody coming into your family, somebody disrupting things. We also have where the sun, the focus you have here of your own rules, your limitations, your boundaries. And we also have Mars in this square as well. These two together are really being very powerful, focused here of what limits there are or what you're trying to begin here in that house of your home. And what you truly want there, what makes you feel at ease and comfort. Everybody wants a comfortable home. Now we have the moon goes into Gemini. The T-squares are there with the sun, focusing on what you're restricting, what you're limiting, your rules, your regulations. I don't think you're going so much against society here, but I feel like you're going against something from the past of friends or groups here that we're trying to sway you into something here. Like, it's almost like you get a roommate or something like this, and it's like they just take over your home. And you're like, this ain't going to work. Because, you know, you're not going to, something here is like, you gotta make sure you stand strong against something here. And then we have on the moon in Gemini squaring Saturn in Pisces. Again, the square with Mars, and beginning with the Sun and Mars, with Saturn as the focus here of what you're trying to do here, accomplish something. You're starting something new. And it could be you just setting up the rules and regulations of what you're going to allow in your home or in your family. We have Mercury in Sagittarius that is squaring Neptune. It's your beliefs versus someone else's. You have your own beliefs. Maybe somebody's challenging your beliefs, because these T-squares can be very difficult. They're challenging. Somebody saying, well, you can't do that. You can't do this. Well, I'm not going to have anybody in my home telling me what I can and can't do. That's out. And there is this opposition with the moon by the end of the day, where Mars is like, that T-square is going to go on all day long. Get ready, because this is the day of a challenge on November the 26th. Then on the 27th, this is where we now are going to have this full moon, right in the middle of a T-square with Saturn. And Mercury square Neptune. So there's something here with what you believe and your philosophies, your faith, your belief could be totally different from someone else's. And as somebody from the past is trying to resist something here. I don't know if somebody feels like, I just feel with this energy that's here, is somebody still dwelling on the past with you, thinking they can still be a part of your future or that they can control it. That's totally up to you. But I don't know. That's up to you. But I feel like somebody's really saying enough is enough. Now, on the 28th, that's going to be a very emotional day. All right? Because now we have the moon in Gemini trying this energy over here in your 11th house. Your friends, people from the past. Be cautious here. I do want to say, be cautious. Very cautious. Don't let people drag you back into something here. Because we have, on this day, like I said, it's an emotional day, a mystical triangle. Somebody over here, groups, friends, like-minded people, whatever, is trying to pull you in, influence your thoughts and your thinking about the future. And this moon to your north node, is this really what you want? You really want to be influenced by these people over here or these things from the past? Because there is the opposition, these people opposing something here of your future in love or love and affections, romantic attachments, They may not agree with what you feel. Well, that's okay. You ain't don't have to agree with me. Because we also have that mystical triangle with Mercury and all. It's going to go on for the biggest part of the day. And we've got this T square as well. No, you may not believe what I believe, but that's your prerogative. You know, this is a time that we really got to stand up for what we truly want for the future. And we also have the Yod here. So we've got a mystical triangle going on twice, very strong. We got a T square going on, and we got a Yod going on here. It's what how you want to expand for the future, what you desire, what you feel, how you want to grow, how you want to improve, not what the hell they want you to do. And like I said, this is going to be an emotional day where this moon is going to square Neptune. And we've got a cell. Like I said, this is going to be a big day. We got a cell here where there's this opposition, what you feel and what you're thinking. Then we also have it with over to Saturn. Sextile here, sextile here. I still feel like there's some type of influence that you are trying to, that somebody's trying to get you to move in their direction. Having some sort of influence over your thinking, your thoughts. And this is going to get very, very strong. And we've got still, again, the mystical rectangle twice during this day, T square Yod, plus the sales. Like I said, this day on the 28th has a lot with you not allowing to give up your control, your decision, what you want to go toward, what you want to do here. On the 29th, the moon will then move into Cancer. And we still have the cell going on. And we have the Yod going on still about how you want to grow, what you want to improve upon for you. And this moon trying with Saturn as well. Now you're starting to initiate something here. Maybe you're laying some rules down, some regulations, some limitations. We got the moon in this quincunx with Mars and the sun. These two can join together to what you aspire. You're really focused on what you want to accomplish now, what you want to achieve. We've got Venus in Libra in opposition to the North Node. So what? They're going to oppose you. When somebody has a hold on somebody and they think they can influence their thoughts or influence what they do, and you're being controlled by others, it's time to break the bond. I mean, it's time to break something here. It's time for you to focus on your growth, your improvement, your life, not theirs. And this moon, further on that day, is going to conjunct with Vista here. And we still have that Yod, your self-improvement, what you feel, what you're devoted to, what you're dedicated to, what you have that connection that you're focused on. Let them go focus on what they want, because it looks like to me they are really in an opposition here. That if I, wanting to be in your future, they feel like they just have a right to control you. And you're not, what is the word I'm looking for here? You're not being affable, or what is that? You're just not just going along with it. Because on the 30th, this quincunx to Neptune, there is really something here that they think they can dictate over something here. And there, like I said, there's that yod. It's, you know, you got to stand up to something here. Because it's almost like whoever's over here, these friends, these groups, or whatever, are really trying to take control and saying, "Oh, come on, come on, come on," you know. "Oh, don't worry about that right there. Oh, that's tomorrow, whatever." No, whatever you're doing here, you need to focus on it and what you feel that you want to accomplish here. Don't let anybody interfere with what changes you want to make here. See, already there's this square, because if you resist, we got a T-square here, you resisting them, and they can't pull you back over here, believe you me, they might try and backstab you. So watch your back. Watch your back. Because we do have this T-square with the moon to Neptune. You're going to have to take control of your life here. And whatever's here is like, that's past. That's done. Ain't happening no more. I am focused on my future. You be responsible for yourself. I'm responsible for myself. And this is what I feel. And now I'll go to December the 5th. This is the third quarter, the last quarter of the moon. We had the sail here. That involves Vista, Venus, Mercury, sextile Mercury, Mercury to Saturn, and Saturn with a trine back to Vista. And there's this opposition. And we have that mystical triangle again. Which there is this trine here, sextile here, with an opposing thinking. You know what you want for the future. You got to be dedicated to something here. And we also have the Grand Trine that's dealing with Vista to Saturn and to Venus. All focused right here. You're starting something new that makes you feel right. And Venus now has moved into Scorpio, which it will be at its detriment. Because it is in opposition to where it's exalted. It's exalted over here, now it's over here. So you're going to find out that somebody you're dealing with is weak. They're going to figure out they're weak, they're negative, or they're repressed, something here, because they can't get you to do what they want you to do. And I hope you're not doing that to them, that you're ready for all new. And again, we have the new moon on the 12th, which I said, remember, I said 2020. It was 2020 over here in 45 minutes. Now it's here. And look what you got. You've got a square over here, which is, for the moon to Neptune, but that's okay. It's a challenge that you're willing to take on. And we have this opposition of Venus to Jupiter because it's exalted over here. And if it was over here, then more than likely it would be able to control you. And right now it's weak. It's repressed. It's negative. You're not going to, I just don't see you going along with it. And that's what you got. Let's go on to the cards. How about that? Where am I? Oh, there we go. All right. Let's see what the situation you've got going on right here. You've got the Magician. This is Mercury energy. Remember all the Mercury energy we were talking about? And at this, I also want to say, at this time of, I just want to look at something real quick here. Mercury's in Capricorn. Yeah. On this new moon, Mercury is going to be going stationary because it's going to be going retrograde and moving back toward the sun, the moon, and Mars. So this is where something here that whatever I feel like you're going to be rethinking what you were trying to manifest here, or something about someone else. Um, what's crossing and challenging this is the world. That's interesting. This is Saturn energy, where you're whatever you're trying to what in the beginning of this, where we were in the beginning. Remember, I said on the 14th when it all started. Whatever you were wanting to manifest here, it wasn't time to be manifested. There was something you needed to do during this time before you could be able to manifest something. There's a cycle that need to be closed out. In your foundation, we got the King of Swords. This is fire and air. You had to get your head clear, and you had to cut something off that was no longer being of any service. Let's see what's in your south node here. Whoa, we got Mars energy. There was a breakdown here. Something you needed to do here. You had to deal with something of the past. Like I said, I feel like there was somebody that was controlling your thoughts, trying to maybe even manipulate you. And this is like taking back your control. To me, kings are mutable, okay? So this to me would be Gemini. It had to do with Mercury. Because in order for a king to be a king, he's got to be able to be mutable and adjust and adapt to things and change. And he's got to make those decisions, whether he likes them or not. And only a mutable sign can do that. To have the courage to make the decision that needs to be made. I want to see what's coming here in your North Node. Oh, we got strong water energy here. Cancer. Something you emotionally desire that you want to achieve. And it's pointing right down to that queen. Queens are about relationships. But I feel like somebody outside of you, you have to break free from before you can obtain this. Before you could work on doing this. That's earth and fire. You're really passionate about something here to obtain something or someone. I felt like there was a lot to do with a masculine energy somewhere around here. Need to take back his man card because it was almost like he was being dominated. Right now, you're in this position with this moon in Cancer. When that moon hits into Cancer, it's what you feel. You're not interested in something over here. You want to break free from it. This is your energy. In your environment, this Mars energy, you're standing up to, or somebody here is standing up to something, and this is very, very toxic. This is Capricorn. It's like somebody still wants control. And as much as you try to break free of them, or this, or these people, they keep trying to pull you back. Oh, we got something here with the past. There is somebody definitely from the past that you may have moved on from, but they don't want you to go. But they're dealing with something right now, or you're dealing with something right now that you have to break free from. But this other person may have moved on, or you feel they may have moved on. But you're going to have to eventually communicate with somebody here. You really are. You're going to have to, you're going to come to this point that you're going to have to go one way or the other. And you're going to have to make this wise decision. And I feel like that comes in here. That whatever is tearing you down, you got to cut it out. Because whatever's over here in your environment, they don't want to let go. Your wisdom card you got is you're seeking peace, this dove. You need to extend an olive branch to something here, and I feel like this is where you want it to go. This is like extending, giving. You want to make peace with somebody here, but you can't do it as long as you've got this garbage going on. And again, this is about you focusing on that peace, focusing on what you feel. And expect some unexpected things. Because this may be a very dark time for you. With this over here, trying to get these two right here. I mean, geez, come on. It feels like to me that somebody is just, I, I don't know. I mean, it's like, I feel like this is you resisting something here. Like, I don't want you. You're not what I want. There's something here from the past you want. On your healing thing, work daily. Now, this is good over these next 2 weeks. Work daily towards improving your mental health. Oh my God. Positive affirmations. What did I say? With all this out of bound energy, somebody here is really trying to tear you down. Big time. They don't want to let go. You are a fire sign. The element is fire here. The element of fire heralds new life, renewed passion, and positive transformation is what you want to manifest here. And you may have to go this all alone. Begin here. This is the door of opportunity. Begin here. Do not fear what travel brings, my dear. The moment is yours. Begin now and here. There's a new beginning. New start. And this may take a couple of cycles, and hopefully by the next time, we're going to see you broke this bound or this bond or something here that's been holding you back. And I still feel like it's people that you, friends, that maybe you socialize with, that you feel obligated to or bound to. Ow. That came up with Venus. Remember, we talked a lot about Venus right here. I don't have Lilith showing, but I bet you 2-1. If I did have it showing, it's either going to be in Virgo or it's going to be in Libra during that time. I feel like you've got somebody here that, there's your sign, Sagittarius, 10th house. Your 10th house is Virgo, by the way. You've got a lot of fire here. And it's about a renewed passion and a positive transformation is what you want to manifest. And you're going to have to cut free or break free of whatever this is that's trying to control you. And standing up for yourself. Because there's something you definitely feel that you're missing. You're missing someone here that you had something with. And this is like almost like a clean slate. Let's start a new beginning. Let's see what this over here is all about. We got Mercury. We've got Libra. Remember I said that communication? You trying to communicate or they're trying to communicate with you. Third house is a communication. And I guarantee you, whatever's here, they're blocking the communication because of what's around you. They know you're under the influence of something else, and they don't want no part of it until you break free of it. Doesn't mean to say that, but they're missing something else here. They're missing something from the past, or you are. This is your energy. But they probably won't have any contact till you break free of whatever this is over here that's controlling you. And I feel like it probably more than likely might be some people you associate with. The influence there. Um, yeah. See, we got 6 and 6. Again, that Libra energy. Somebody's not going to work with you or give to a situation here until they know this is done and over with, whatever this is. Yeah. Ooh, look what we have here. What did I say? Renewal, renewed, passion, positive transformation. That's rebirth, regeneration, rejuvenation. Because I feel like somebody definitely says, they're not going to put anything into this until you are free of something, or groups or people, or something they feel like is just controlling everything. It's up to you. Anyway, Sag, just what I got for y'all. Y'all take care, and I will see y'all later. Bye for now.